On our agenda, the honor of having a proclamation for David McCormick retirement.
All right, if we could have David and Wendy Powers come on down.
Hey, I am Wendy Powers. I'm the supervisor of the City of Fulton Solid Waste Department, and I would like to present this plaque to David McCormick for his service with the City of Fulton from 1994 to 2026. In recognition of a hard worker and his dedication, consideration, and dependability will truly be missed. So David has been with the City of Fulton for 3 months shy of 32 years. And we are truly going to
Thank you, David.
David, if you have anything you want to say, now is that time. The floor is yours. Just wanna-
Been on my rock for years, and I appreciate your service and your friendship that we all have in the past. Appreciate it. May God continue to bless you and may future that will be present.
Absolutely. David has been one of our longest tenured employees. He's always been a very familiar face for the City of Fulton. I think I've known you most of my life, David. So we're going to miss you. I know you won't be a stranger. That has nothing to do with age. That's okay. That's right. You'll be around, but the McCormick family and David and his wife, again, have been a staple here, and we're going to miss you, but it'll be good to see you, even though it'll be in a different capacity. That's okay. Congratulations, David. We're excited.
David, from one retiree to another, you trust me, you won't have any time on your hands. You'll be very busy.
I can attest to that.
It's amazing how your time gets filled. So congratulations
Amen.
and thank you.
Okay. We will now take comments from visitors. At this time, for visitors to address the council with any concerns or comments. The council will not interact with you, but may address your comments at a later time. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name, address, and limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Lori Whitlow. I'm a resident of Fulton. And what? 801 Mulcaine Road. My question is, why was there such a big increase in the recycling program? It's jumped to $14 a month. Can somebody answer that for me? And also, it wasn't very well publicized for people to see what was going on until after the fact. And I'd like to know why there wasn't more notification ahead of time, or obvious notification.
So at this point, Ms. Whitlow, during comments from visitors, the council is not allowed to respond, but maybe later during the comments from visitors, they can, or we can have someone reach out. Just during this portion of it. They hear your comments, but they're not allowed to respond at this point.
When can they respond?
Either during their council comments from, or I'm sorry, council concerns, or either after they can speak with you.
So it would be tonight still?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Someone can visit with you for sure.
Thank you. Okay, we will now move on to the consent agenda, which includes approval of city council meeting minutes from January 27th and February 10th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Consent agenda is approved. Okay, we do not have any unfinished business. We have, oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah, skip.
I skipped. I skipped, my eyes jumped. We'll now have the presentation and acceptance of the January DOA report.
All right, thank you, Deputy Mayor. A few things I wanted to highlight. That's okay, it happens to the best of us. A few things I'm going to highlight, and then of course our city department heads are here as well to answer any questions you might have. But during the month of January, of course, we got everything finalized from 2025 and got that new year kicked off. Thanks to a lot of work from our negotiations team and from the city council, and then also from the IBEW representation, we were able to finalize a contract that the council successfully passed at our last council meeting. So I think that's again something we can all be very proud of. I also want to highlight that we met with our legal counsel to set and establish our administrative and policy priorities for 2026. And there was a great deal of conversation with Westminster College on their upcoming 80th anniversary of Sir Winston Churchill's Sinews of Peace speech. So I know they have an event coming up in the next week. And I know they've been doing a lot of publicizing on that as well. So hopefully they'll have a great turnout for that event. Certainly something big to celebrate here in our community. And then lastly, I just want to point out we have a lot of really positive and encouraging discussions regarding some new business prospects and development here in our community. I think that signals some positive movement here in our community, as well as bringing in that engagement from outside entities as well. So we're very excited to see where that goes moving forward. As I said, though, we do have our department heads here, so if you have specific questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
I do, if I may. On page 6, utility/engineering starts. One of the things, we did some new employees on surveying, training some new employees on surveying, and there's a picture in here of and I don't know if we can see it, but there's a picture of some of the training going on in the engineering office area. So I hope it's surveyed pretty level, but anyway. But I would like to ask that we get more write-up from what we might be doing in the engineering world of different projects and such, like we used to get more. So
More of a project overview or status update.
yeah,
Okay.
what's going on with their different projects. I hope this doesn't mean we're not doing any projects, so because it's
Certainly not.
always roads and all kinds of things like that to do. Other than that, it's a great report, and I appreciate all the information.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. We'll now move on to the presentation and acceptance of the January financial statement.
Candy Johnson, CFO. The city of Fulton recorded 12 months of sales tax in 2025. Collections are up 2.1% from fiscal year 2024. Use tax is up 11.48% from fiscal year 2024. No sales or use tax was recorded for January. There were 2 payroll cycles in January, 8 days worked in December, but paid in January were accrued back to 2025. Consequently, personnel expenses will be proportionally lower. You guys have had a chance to look at that. Does anybody have any questions? It's up 2.1% from last year.
Move for acceptance of the January financial report. Thank you.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Presentation, or the financial statement has been approved. We do not have any unfinished business. We'll move on to new business. We have presentation by members of the City of Fulton Historic Preservation Commission that will provide us some information.
Good evening. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I am not the person who is supposed to be here. I'm the vice chairman of the Historic Preservation Commission. Crystal Albert, our chairperson, is home in bed with a fever, and so we decided to keep her away from you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, nobody needs that. To give you a little idea about myself, I have met Nancy Hansen, been in meetings with Nancy. Of course, Kathy Ratliff is in our meetings. I have been in Fulton. I was born in Fulton. I left for about 35 years. I came back about 3 years ago. Mayor Meyer appointed me to the Historic Preservation Commission. I actively work with the Historic Society here in town. And I am the liaison between the Historic Preservation Commission and the Historic Society. That was something, we had a review by the State Historic Preservation Organization out of Jefferson City. They come in ever so often and review records and see if we're in compliance. There were a number of items that they've suggested we need to get done. One of them was the liaison, so we've got that taken care of. One of the things that we're working on is what is the HPC's role in Fulton. We are strictly an advisory commission. We don't have any ability to tell people you have to do something or you can't do something. That is not our role. If they ask us to advise them, they sign off that they are requesting our advice, and then we proceed and we'll help them. We will only work with exterior design reviews. We don't do anything inside the property. We use the preservation standards set by the National Historic Preservation Commission. One of the things I'd really like to clarify is the National Register of Historic Places currently has 23 properties in Callaway County. It's not very many. One of our goals and one of the things that SHPO is what the state organization's acronym is, wants us to do is to get that number up. Again, we don't have the authority to go out and make people register their homes. There's also a huge discrepancy between this National Register and the City of Fulton Register. And so we're working to try to get those reconciled. There is no difference in what the standards would be for the City of Fulton's list versus the national. So if you're on the national, it changes nothing other than you're going to get a yard sign in your yard in National Preservation Month saying you're a historic home. So we're working on trying to reconcile those. Another thing they wanted is a database of our historic properties. We are working on that. I'm actually working on setting that up. We're working off the 1978, I believe it is, survey where they went through and surveyed all of Callaway County. We're using the Fulton properties. They would like to see a new survey done. It's extremely expensive to do that. I don't see that happening anytime in the near future. We do have some thoughts that we may do small areas at a time. members of the commission will go out and do it, even if it's one block, hit both sides of the house on one block coming down Court Street. But that would put us in compliance with them, that we are in the process of doing that. The reason that we want to stay in compliance with them and keep our HPC status is it opens up the city of Fulton for grants. It opens up the homeowners, property owners for grants. So it can be a very important thing. We just need to communicate that. And we are planning a public event on April 15th at 5 p.m. It is currently scheduled to be at the Brick District Playhouse. We are going to send out letters to the people who have homes in the designated historic districts and other historic homes that have been identified in Fulton, asking them to come so that we can talk and discuss the fact that we're advisory only. We're not trying to come in and tell them you have to do this or can't do that. We would love to see you guys there. I know you're busy. You've got a lot of stuff going on, but if you can make it, it would really be nice. One of the reasons we chose to come and talk to you tonight was to give you an idea that this is in the process, because we're getting ready to do a mailing. And so some of your constituents may get a letter from the Historic Preservation and call you up and say, and what's this about? So we wanted to pre-warn you. Again, we're strictly advisory. Any ideas that, you know, we can make people do things or they have to spend money is not a correct assumption. So that's what we want to get across to these people and see if we can get them. We've talked about different ways of doing it, you know, getting the list reconciled. We don't know about whether grandfathering in the homes that have been identified as historic. I've got the list. These are the homes in Fulton that are identified in the districts except the bottom two. And so, you know, those are the kind of things we're really trying to do. We're working on a strategic plan on how to get these things done. We're working on the design guidelines. We're doing training. We're required to do a certain number of hours of training each year. We generally go to Jeff City for that, or they come here. I think they did a training. I was out for surgery. They did a training when they came and did the review. So, I mean, you know, we're working to keep all the things done. We are working on bringing in new commissioners. We have a couple of commissioners that are going off. Their terms are ending. So if you know somebody, we can have up to 2 members on the commission who are not residents of the city of Fulton. They can be in Callaway County. So we have, in fact, I think one of the ones going off is a Callaway County. Yeah, so it really would help us if you all know anybody. Please talk to them and see if we can get them on the commission. There's days where it's hard to get a quorum, especially with health and stuff. This is basically a very abbreviated version of what Crystal was going to deliver. If any of you have any questions, I would be more than glad to try to answer. Like I say, I was born in Fulton. I left. My family has been in Fulton many, many years. I'm a third great grandson of George Nichols, who sold the original 50 acres for Fulton. Cousins with the Wise brothers out of Kingdom City. So the family's been around a while. You know, so I do have a great interest in the history of Fulton and working with this. And we're getting help from the Historic Society. They are also co-sponsoring, I don't know if that's the right word. They are working with us on this event April 15th. So we have the support of the Historical Society. It was a unanimous vote that they would come and support us. We're using a very limited budget. It's very limited of what we're spending to do this. Some of us are chipping in stuff and, you know, getting things done. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If I don't know the answer, I'll be happy to try to find them and get back with you.
Hey, Captain, can I get one of those lists that he has?
Yeah, I can send that out to the, I can send it out to the council. You got copies?
I do.
Oh, wonderful.
So these are the 20.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
But, you know, it will really help Fulton if we can do that. We've got beautiful homes. We also are practical, or at least trying to be practical. There's some places where we have to admit we've lost the battle. The Mike and Morris problem. Unless I'm willing to take my checkbook out and fix it myself, we've lost the battle. Let's move on. Let's get the other properties on and get them taken care of. So, any questions?
Sir,
Yes.
if I may, first of all, I didn't catch your name.
Robert Wise.
Robert Wise.
W-I-S-E.
There's the Wise brother thing, huh?
Yes. I am the last Wise that I know of in Callaway County. that
I'm
is of
sure you
this
know,
family.
I'm sure you know David Baxter.
I run around with David. I'll see David for breakfast in the morning.
Okay, so your event is on April 15th at 5 PM?
5 p.m. at the
Okay.
District Playhouse.
Okay.
And it's going to be very casual, just a reception type thing. We will do a presentation. We are going to give a certificate to the homeowners that arrive, that show up, stating they have a home that has been identified as a historic home, and we will be giving them information of what would benefit them if they were to let us work with them to get them on the list.
So are these the ones you're inviting, are they the ones that are registered already, or?
The ones that are registered and the ones that have been identified.
Okay, so
In fact,
there's,
aren't we sending to everybody in the historic district?
okay,
Okay, that's up in the air.
Okay.
There's been discussion, but I think it will end up being, we currently have 3 historic districts, well, 4 actually. We've got Westminster Hill, where the gymnasium, the President's Home is a church. We've got West 7th Street, East 5th Street, and Court Street. And Court Street's really broken into 2, the commercial and the residential. So, you know, and there's more districts that could be developed. There's other homes, other districts that would definitely qualify, but we just need to get the active. We've got a pretty good group of commissioners that are committed to working on this, and I think I've heard we're really making some progress. So,
yeah, I think there'd be some up on, Market Street that would fit that bill too, because there's some older homes there.
there's
So-
a Fred Bell house, there's a clone to the Fred Bell cottage
Okay.
on the corner of 9th and Blunt.
Okay.
And, you know, so there's historic homes all over.
Sure, but you're not just looking at homes either, or you also look at other properties, because you
All
mentioned,
kinds of property. The
the
state
gymnasiums,
organization now considers a property as historic if it's over 50 years old. So that opens it up a lot.
yeah, it sure
Now,
does.
Not every 50-year-old property is a historic property.
Right,
You
right,
have to be able to show some kind of a historic relevance and be able to document it, not just, oh, my great aunt's next door neighbor says such and such happened. I mean, that's an important part of it. But, you know, we get newspapers, we get actual documentation of what it is that makes that property a historic property.
sure, great, thank you.
I would just add that our partnership with the Historical Society is so important, and Bob, you represent that as the liaison. You guys have a lot of tools and research tactics at your disposal that really come in quite handy for the Historic Preservation Commission, so thank you.
I was really surprised at the fact that they jumped on board with this. I don't know how many of you know the museum's been closed since last August. We found mold in the building and we're doing mold remediation. It's a madhouse in the research center and all the external stuff going on, but it was 100% we're in agreement to do this and commitment to attend the function. So.
And if I could, I wanted to recognize Mary Sheridan, who's sitting out there quietly. She's another one of our
Mary
HPC
Sharon,
members.
she's, I think, our Callaway County. Yeah. So, like I say, if you know somebody, please encourage them to seek out the mayor and be nominated, put on the commission. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we will now move on to council concerns. I'm first on the list here. We do not have a public safety commission this month. There were no items for the docket. So I have no concerns, but I do have I want to thank both our chiefs and the council persons for a very successful working on our 2 ordinances that we'll be approving tonight. Thank you very much. And the next person on the list will be Councilman West.
Okay, the Human Rights Commission has not met since our last meeting. I will remind everyone that we're still accepting applications for the Jane Biederman Fike Award. Kathy, help me with the date if you remember. June 1st, something like that, I think. Okay, I also wanted to point out on Sunday, had the opportunity to attend the Fulton Branch NAACP Black History Month celebration. It was very, very nice. A lot of really good presentations. A couple I'd like to point out in particular. Well, there were a couple young ladies, I think they're probably in high school, that gave some presentation. One read a speech by Shirley Chisholm, and I don't remember the other one. And then Tyron Cooper did a presentation on the letter that Reverend King wrote from the Birmingham jail to other, and he gave the abbreviated version. I would have hated to hear the whole thing. It went on for a while, and he was very emotional, did a great job. And then we had Mr. Kevin Smith from the Missouri State Parks Historic, I don't know what it is. It's the government entity anyway for Missouri State Parks. And he gave a presentation on the Buffalo Soldiers, which was very interesting, and that they actually rode bicycles. And if you've seen the Tournament of Roses parade in the last few years, they actually show some of these gentlemen riding bicycles in front of the cavalry, the horsemen. So it was a very, very interesting presentation. I had to leave after that. I didn't get to. I wanted to go see and try to touch the bike. He might not let me, but he did have a bike on display with him too. But I thought that was a very well done event, and I look forward to attending those in the future. And I have no concerns.
Thank you, Councilman West.
Oh, wait a minute. I do want to address Mrs. Whitlow's concern, and I don't know if I've got all the details here, but when we first started the recycling program, we got some grants from a couple of organizations to buy the carts and that sort of thing. And as time has gone on, our costs have gone up and up, and we take the recycling that we do collect down to Jefferson City to a contractor, and we pay $120 per ton. Is that the right figure?
45?
145, so it's even more per ton versus what we can take to the landfill,
Approximately 43 or
about
45.
43. So the cost was getting out of hand, so we had to raise the rates for the rental in order to have the convenience of having it picked up at the curbside. There are some other avenues in town. I know the Boy Scouts collect the aluminum cans, 2 or 3 different places in town. We still had the glass collection at the police station and the old Mosers parking lot, and we do have cardboard pickup or recycling at the police station as well. So there are some things, and we are continuing to explore other avenues. Part of the problem is there's not a lot of market for it. I guess it was pre-COVID that the United States used to export it to China. That's my understanding. I don't know that for a fact. And that kind of dried up around COVID time or whatever. So it's really, the challenge is to find the market for it. And that's quite frankly why Kingdom Projects quit doing it, because they couldn't find the market for it. So, and they would end up with a lot of trash too. So continue to explore it, and hopefully we can get those costs back down.
Thank you,
Hope that
Councilman West. Okay, the next person on the list will be Councilwoman Recluse.
On the Public Safety Committee, they've not met for the last few weeks, so we will be having a meeting as soon as possible. Basically, I don't have anything else to say tonight, except thank you for everyone who's here tonight, and I really appreciate seeing people here and sharing with us what we need to work for. We're here for you, and I do appreciate this, and thank you. So,
Thank you, Councilwoman Reclus. Councilwoman Hanson?
Yes, Mr. Deputy Mayor, thank you. I am very grateful to Bob for coming and presenting about the Historical Preservation Commission. I've enjoyed sitting in on the meetings, and I've learned a lot just on the few meetings that I've sat in so far. So I'm looking forward to our informational event, which I know that we're inviting those who are living in those specific districts, but it is also open to the public, and so others who are welcome to come and learn more about the historic districts that we have. And other than that, thank you for talking about the recycling. I know that that has been a concern for lots of people in town, and I'm glad that we still have the ability to take those things to the police station if we can't get them, from our curb. And I don't have any other concerns.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hanson.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Luther is not here tonight. Councilman Combs?
Yes, Deputy Mayor, the Planning and Zoning Commission has not met since our last meeting. We will have a meeting next month, the 10th. Yep, on the 10th. And so, yep. And then I have no concerns tonight.
Thank you, Councilman Combs. Councilman Washington?
Thank you. To my knowledge, I think we didn't have enough for a quorum the last time. And as far as to my knowledge, I don't think we had a meeting at this point, at this time. I like to ditto everything that Councilman West, it was a very good program. Had a great turnout, and we are very appreciative of all those that were able to attend the council, some of the council people, and Deputy Mayor, we thank you for what you had to say, and the chief of police was there too as well. And in fact, I was going to have him say something, but anyway, we really, it was a great event, and I think it was very well attended. And I think the community, thank you for the NAACP and the people in the community. Thank the city, and I'm very thankful for the city administrator. She called me and let me know that she had other things, but normally she would be there. And I thank you for your call. Appreciate that. I have no other concerns other than we're looking forward to a great year for the city of Fulton.
Thank you, Councilman Washington. Councilwoman Nelson?
Thank you. I would also like to add on to a few things that Councilman West said regarding the recycling. I am the liaison for the utility board. I appreciate you coming forward tonight and expressing your concerns. The recycling program, like Councilman West stated, was started based off of grants that we had to help get that up and running. Since its inception between 10 and 15 years ago, the carts actually were only $2, and we never really increased that fee to our residents. And so as time went on and cost increased, we actually were losing money on that program. So as a utility board, we sat down and we decided, how can we keep this without forcing everybody in the community to have to pay for it, since it's an elective service. And so the fee that we placed on the carts was only to cover the costs so we can continue the program, because it was really important to me, because I recycle. I don't like to pay the fee, but it's important, so I do it. I know too that through all of this, there was concerns about where it went, and we kind of cleared that up. And whenever I know I mentioned it at least 3 council meetings, because again, it was something that was really important. There was a lot of discussion that went into it, and we tried our hardest to make sure that it was a program that we could continue to do. And so we did put that on social media. We also advertised in your utility bills, as well as our webpage. And I believe I mentioned it, like I said, at least 3 council meetings. So I'm so sorry that you didn't get the information, but I do really believe in the program, and I hope that you start doing it, or keep doing it. But if you can't, and you can't afford the cart, and you don't want to pay that fee, it is elective. You do have the option to give our trash department a call. Wendy obviously is great. She'll take care of you, and you just put your container on the curb and they'll pick it up for you. But you do have the ability to take your recycling to the police department. We started that over Christmas, and we decided that we wanted to continue it because we did know that the price increase for residents was going to be a burden on some, and that there were some that would like to keep doing it. And so we do have those containers still available at the police department. But I do really appreciate you coming tonight and expressing your concerns.
Typically, no, as part of the program, but I will leave that to the deputy mayor to make that
Yes,
determination.
you can. Come on up.
I understand everything you said. I don't do anything with computers or that technology, so I wouldn't have seen any of that anyway. But it was not very well. According to my husband, it was barely legible. It was small print. So you wouldn't notice it if you didn't look for it. So I think it should have been better publicized to people so that it wouldn't come as quite a surprise. The $14 hike is big. I understand it's been over years, but it's a lot at one time. And it seems to me this isn't going to be able to continue if it keeps this way. It's going to keep going up and it'll become cost prohibitive and we won't be able to recycle. As far as taking the recyclables to the police station, I recycle everything, not just glass, cardboard, and whatever the other thing was you mentioned. Oh, tin cans to the Boy Scouts. I recycle everything, plastic, you name it, paper. So what am I supposed to do with that stuff? So now I'm forced to throw things in the trash, which will double the landfill bill at some point because we're not going to separate things, evidently. So anyway, I'm not pleased with it, but I understand that's how things are. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mrs. Whitlow.
Thank you for voicing your opinion.
Mrs. Whitlow, just so you know, I had my cart pulled and I couldn't stand it, so I had to go get it back. So, I mean, I was collecting all the plastic, I was taking the cardboard and the stuff around, and I just like, I cannot throw this in the trash. So I did get the cart back. I had it pulled. I was like, but it is a very, right. And we're going to continue to explore possibilities of what we can do. So, unfortunately, it was a big jump all at once. So, but I do appreciate you coming in and talking to us.
Ma'am.
Thank you. And thank you, Councilwoman Nelson. Next on our agenda, we have no resolutions. So we have, next we have our ordinances. For the second reading, Councilman Combs, please read Bill number 1778.
Yes, Deputy Mayor. Bill number 1778, MoDOT City Limits Sign E-Agreement number 2025-08-87983. An ordinance authorizing the mayor on behalf of the city of Fulton, Missouri to sign all necessary documents in relation to an agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for participation in a sign program for the installation and maintenance of city limit signs with the city logo on U.S. Highway 54 and authorizing execution thereof. I make a motion to place bill number 1778 for third reading at this council meeting.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
This is only for Highway 54. We are looking at those other entrances as well, though.
Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Councilman Combs, would you read Bill number 1778 for the third time, please?
Yes, Deputy Mayor. Bill number 1778, MoDOT City Limits Sign E-Agreement number 2025-08-87983. An ordinance authorizing the mayor on behalf of the city of Fulton, Missouri to sign all necessary documents in relation to an agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for participation in a sign program for the installation and maintenance of city limit signs with the city logo on US Highway 54 and authorization execution thereof. I make a motion to put bill number 1778 for final passage at this meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Nay. This bill has been passed. Oh, yes. Madam Clerk, would you please do a roll call?
Mr. Deputy Mayor. Ms. Hanson? Mr. Hinchey?
Yes.
Mr. Luther? Ms. Nelson? Yes. Ms. McClue?
Yes.
Mr. Washington? Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
7 council members affirmative.
Okay, now that has been approved. Okay, the third readings. Councilwoman Reclue, would you please read Bill number 1773?
Yes, can I read the? I got, thank you, that is third, yeah, thank you. No, okay, yes, got it, yeah. Bill number 1773, code amend, curfew for persons under the 18, parental responsibility, and ordinance repealing and reenacting section 78-84 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Fulton, Missouri, relating to curfew and parental responsibility for persons under 18 to promote public safety, prevent juvenile crime, provide for the enforcement and penalties, and establish an effective date. I make a motion for bill number 1773 for approval at this council meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I would like to say one thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate the meeting. I missed the meeting. We had a problem at home, so anyhow, I didn't get into the session that we did. I appreciate the information. I've read everything that went through. Thank you, everyone, for being involved and for the decisions and things that are going to go forward to maybe make our community a little safer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Reclue. I just want to clarify and just say thank you to the City Council, to Chief Ladwig and Major Hedges as well for their input and guidance throughout this process, which has taken a few months, couple months maybe to get through. Again, we want to make sure we get it correct. It's something that's really important here in our community. So just to clarify, after those discussions and that guidance that was provided by City Council, the section numbers have been clarified. We did already have a minor curfew in place, so that is not changing. It is just clarified. And then we also really clarified the police department's discretion, ability to use discretion, when to issue those citations to a responsible adult party. One thing that was clarified is if there is a felony offense, that will result in a citation to the responsible adult party as well. But again, thank you all very, very much. There was a lot of really thoughtful conversation, and again, we want to make sure we get this right for our community.
Can I add something real quick? Just kind of piggybacking a little bit off what you said, but also, I know had a significant, or I shouldn't say significant, had opposition to this bill initially. One, I know at least a few of us had talked, or I know we'd had conversations about other curfew ordinances already in place around driving and stuff like that. After the last meeting, it was made more clear that we already had a curfew ordinance on our books as well. Knowing that was already in place, looking at that, I have much more appreciated the new language over some of the old language. And so this is the clarification we've done there, but also knowing that that one has been in existence and doesn't appear, as far as I'm ever concerned, to ever have been abused in any way. I know we don't, I mean, I don't feel like our police staff has ever abused those sorts of things in any way. And I very much appreciate the way our law enforcement handles the city of Fulton. So that eased my mind a lot, knowing that it was already in place and it wasn't as concerning, especially with the clarification in language. And then just having more conversations about the parental responsibility, the clarification that was there really helped. I know last time there was some mention of opportunity for discrimination and that sort of thing. And I don't think, in the midst of that conversation, I don't think anybody actually believed that our police department is doing any discrimination. I just wanted to clear that up. Like, it was more like sometimes it's the accusation of discrimination coming from outside or future tense. But I don't think anybody that I've talked to actually feels like our police department has any concerns of discrimination in any way at this point. So I wanted to add those things because there has been a lot of conversation, a lot of things behind the scenes. The work session is not televised like these meetings are, and so if somebody wasn't able to come for that, they actually know that we did put the time and effort in talking through it and working through it together as a group, and it's not just changing and nobody's pushing back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Combs, especially on the discrimination piece. I really appreciate that clarification. And again, I appreciate each of you being available to walk through this with us.
Yes, and I'm glad that we made we had some clarification on this as well. And what I like to keep an eye on this ordinance as we continue to process and let this go through. And I think we need to continue to monitor and make sure this is a good ordinance as we continue to go. Thank you.
Madam UA, could you go a little bit, you said that with a felony, an adult will receive a citation. What is that? That fines, but no jail term.
You're putting a lot of pressure on me here, Deputy Mayor, but I do have a wonderful police chief that I'm certain would be excited to come up and talk a little bit about that distinguishment. So as he's coming on up, again, we discussed with the city council and with staff that any juvenile offense that rises to the level of a felony offense will automatically result in that responsible adult or that parental party also receiving a municipal ticket. So again, it's not a felony offense for the responsible adult. We do want to clarify that, but it is a ticket as defined in this ordinance. So if you want to clarify, which piece would you specifically like clarified on the felony portion?
Just because I didn't want people to think that the adult would receive
the same level
of
a citation.
Of citation.
Now, in municipal court, you can only receive a ticket for a municipal ordinance violation, which is usually just an infraction. And there is no possibility of jail time for a parent unless they fail to ignore their court date and a judge would issue a warrant. But
That's a separate issue. That's a contempt of
that's a
court.
completely separate issue. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's out of our hands.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Chief,
Thank
for all your
you.
hard work on this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your efforts.
Okay, we will go on to voting now. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Madam Clerk, could you please give a roll?
Mr. Hinchey,
Yes.
Mr. Luther, Ms. Nelson? Yes. Ms. Reclue,
Yes.
Mr. Washington? Yes. Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Ms. Hanson? 7 council members affirmative.
Bill number 1774 has been approved. Or 1773 has been approved. Councilwoman Nelson, would you please read Bill number 1774?
I would love to. Thank you. Bill number 1774, Code Amend, Open Burning, Recreational Fires, and Burn Permits. An ordinance amending Chapter 50 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Fulton, Missouri by adding Article 4, Open Burning, Recreational Fires, and Burn Permits to establish a clear standard for outdoor fires, promote public safety, and establish an effective date. Make a motion we pass Bill number 1774 at tonight's council meeting.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Similarly, we really appreciate the council's input in working through this with Chief Singh, and there were some clarifications in regarding what sort of recreational fire containers could be used, associated requirements that come from the manufacturers, and then that midnight deadline for extinguishment was discussed at length, but does remain in this bill as presented.
Any further discussion? Not hearing any? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Madam Clerk, would you please take roll?
Mr. Luther, Ms. Nelson? Ms. Flue? Mr. Washington? Mr. West? Mr. Combs? Sorry, Ms. Hanson? My bad. Sorry. Mr. Hingy?
Yes.
Thank you.
Bill number 1774 has been approved. We will now move on to announcements. Our next city council meeting will jump a little bit from, it'll be Tuesday, March 24th at 2026 at 6:30 p.m. And the reason for the jump is, trying to remember.
The Kingdom Supper.
Oh, that's right, the Kingdom Supper.
Which we do want to highlight. The Kingdom Supper is coming up on March 10th. Additionally, I want to just mention that Westminster is having their 80th anniversary celebration coming up towards the end of next week, so we encourage everybody to take a look at the lineup of events that they have scheduled. And then I was also asked to highlight the Fulton FFA Community Breakfast, which is tomorrow morning at Fulton High School in the Ag Shop, and it is free entry. There's no fee for that, 6 to 8 a.m. So if you would love to attend a breakfast for the FFA group, I'm sure they would love to have you.
Thank you, Madam DOA. And we have no executive session.
Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Yep.
Another couple of announcements. The United Church of Christ is, I mean, we're in the season of Lent right now. Or they're having their luncheons on Wednesdays at noon. And there's several fish fries around, including the Optimist on Good Friday, and St. Peter's is having, we don't have one this Friday, but following Friday, and there's several others.
It's every other Friday, yes.
Yeah. So, welcome to attend.
Yes, please.
Always out for a good meal.
Okay, and we have no executive session. So okay, I was just going to ask who's, all right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay.